Soulful success coaching, I find that it is a beautiful balance of being both results driven and experience driven. So it's really that balance of like masculine and feminine energy, which for alpha women, when they're harnessing both and really leading in a balanced way, healthy boundaries, lots of self care, inner alignment, driving inspired and aligned action, which of course is the masculine energy. When all of that is in place, they're able to shift from intimidating to influential leaders.
You want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Today's episode brought to you by H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser. Also, Keller Williams Mid-Willamette. For all your real estate needs, Keller Williams is there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So great to have you all here today, and I am really excited about my guest, Stacy Raske, who is with me today. How you doing, Stacy?
Oh, I am amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. It is so great to have you on. And Stacy and I met through some virtual networking events, which are incredible. Worldwide, people are networking today because of all the pandemic and things that have been going on. And it's incredible, the opportunities out there. So we're going to jump into Stacy real quick. But first, I want to remind you, I am Russ Hedge, coach and motivational speaker. I love to connect. I love to help you any way that I can. And the easiest way to get a hold of me is on my website at russhedge.com. And it has all my connection points, all my social media, everything you need. So russhedge.com is where you find me. And with no further ado, we're going to jump straight into Stacy. Stacy, why don't you give us a little information about yourself?
All right, a little information. So the Cliff's Notes version is I am a best-selling author, keynote speaker, Iraq War veteran, badass biker chick, and most importantly, soulful success coach for alpha women leaders.
Wow, that is very brief. And so we are going to start right off the top with the first thing that you mentioned. And, I was looking earlier on your information, and you talked about your soulful success coaching. Tell us a little bit about that.
So soulful success coaching, I find that it is a beautiful balance of being both results driven and experience driven. So it's really that balance of like masculine and feminine energy, which for alpha women, when they're harnessing both and really leading in a balanced way, healthy boundaries, lots of self-care, inner alignment, driving inspired and aligned action, which of course is the masculine energy. When all of that is in place, they're able to shift from intimidating to influential leaders. So they're really showing up in that aligned, authentic way.
That's awesome. And I could tell in the short time we've known each other what an authentic person you are. And I loved talking with you before the interview today because you are so much, you're just a bundle of energy.
Now it takes one to know one.
There you go. That's true.
And thank you.
So, there was a time when it wasn't so much energy. I know you mentioned you were an Iraq war veteran. You came out of the war. There was some challenges you had to overcome. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually on the front lines when we invaded Iraq in 2003. I was the first chemical unit in country. And what was really interesting was I had undiagnosed post-traumatic stress for over the next like 8 years afterwards. So it was this slow decline of just kind of falling apart. And what was really interesting, it wasn't just anxiety. It wasn't just depression. It wasn't just numbing out with food or with alcohol or television and working too much and just doing all the things to really avoid myself and connecting with my thoughts and my feelings. Because I had poor coping long before I joined the military. So it was really reaching my rock bottom moment right at the end of 2014 and leaning into my personal development journey over the last 5 years, discovering that it wasn't so much the military traumas as it was actually the childhood traumas and the generational patterns, the programming, the paradigms, the stories that created the limiting beliefs, the lack of boundaries, the, again, poor coping, really not knowing how to manage myself and my emotions and my empathy and my time, or just any of those things. It was always just being very outward focused, as many high achieving people can be, being just focused on results. And so over time, it it just compiled to the point of that rock bottom moment where I was 100 pounds overweight. I had chronic health conditions. My marriage was falling apart. I basically had lost my career at this point because I was formerly a pharmaceutical chemist, and just reached this moment of clarity that I really hated who I was being. I didn't know myself. I'd built a life of shoulds, and nothing was in alignment with the truth of who I am. And authenticity was not even something that I could have shared at that time because I had no idea who I was. And so I just, at the beginning of 2015, threw in the towel on trying to control anything other than myself. And it started this beautiful upward momentum and this expansion that now I lead by example and really embody and utilize everything that I teach and share with my audience, with my clients, in my book, all of those things.
What I think is so incredible about you, Stacy, is that you've come out of this and you have really turned your life around, and it really gives you a strong platform to help other people, because there are so many people that are dealing with whatever the issues are in life. They have to get their life together and realize they have to be on the right track before they can do anything or help other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I mean, it's the old adage everybody goes to, just like being on the plane, you got to put your mask on first before you help anybody else.
Right.
And so many of the women that I work with, especially, I mean, I do a lot of corporate speaking and training leadership stuff as well, but just on the coaching side, the women that I work with, they're highly, highly successful. That's really the quintessential alpha woman. Even if they don't identify as alpha, they've definitely been called intimidating, but they're really successful on the outside. And so they've been able to create massive success, but yet at the same time, they're really not stepping into that full CEO position, really truly leading in the way that their business, their message and their mission requires. And so we kind of look at the foundation and take that step back and say, okay, before you can be that CEO of your business, are you being the CEO of your life? But I'm all about getting to the root. So I am like, hey, are you being the CEO of you first before you do any of the other stuff?
Yeah, that is so critical. Absolutely. And so there's so much we could talk about, but I want to ask you, so you're an author. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh, yes. Thank you. The book is available on Amazon. It's called Be a Boss and Fire That Bitch. And it's all about quieting the inner critic and finally believing you're good enough. And it's very practical. It's very clear, concise, and actionable, because of course we've got to do something different in order to get a different result. And I basically map out everything that you need to begin shifting those foundational pieces. And it's all the stuff that worked for me. I share a lot of intimate details about myself and how it applied to me personally, as well as my business. I share a few client stories as well, but just to create that context of understanding, because it's one thing to learn a concept, but to really be able to adopt and get to the place of really owning these things as your truth, a new way of being, or a lot of people say writing that new story for yourself.
Right. And you have done that, which makes you super, super incredible. Now, being authentic, you're a biker chick. Tell us about that.
I am. I love writing. Yes, it is. And again, that's some of that beautiful alpha energy. I mean, men and women both, right? It is needing more fun in our lives, and I think a lot of that craving freedom So I'm all about nurturing the inner rebel and even hiring the inner rebel. So we talk about firing the inner critic, really just shifting the relationship with it, and then hiring the inner rebel, because that's that beautiful energy that drives, creativity and inspiration and entrepreneurship. And so, yeah, I love doing that because I get to do it my own way and just being free and having fun. And as much as I love riding with other people, my favorite is actually doing it by myself, just going out and just me and the wind. It's called wind therapy. And just riding, just going out. And the beautiful thing too about riding a motorcycle or something like that is it gets you in your body and out of your head. So it helps to balance out, we're working all day and very much can easily be in the masculine energy. So it balances it out and getting you back into your body and more of that feminine energy balance.
Yeah, and that is so important. I think I am all about fun, first of all, and all of that sounds great. But as far as the peaceful moments, I'm all about, through this whole pandemic and everything that was going on, my number one thing was getting out, exercising, working out, and walking with my beautiful wife every day, and just getting outside. And we love to go up along the river and walk, places like that. And it just gives you that quiet moment because life is so crazy.
Absolutely. And it is about being the experiential side of it because, like I said, it's easy for us to be so focused on results. What's the end game? Where am I going? But, that achiever side and shifting over to more performance, the high performance, where it's about enjoying the journey. Right. Really the fun and the flow and the peace and the joy of the moments in between, because that's living your life, that's experiencing your life. And that allows far greater success than just focusing on the results.
Absolutely. And I am all about enjoying the journey. I use that phrase all the time. That is so critical because if you are looking forward or looking back and you're never enjoying the moment and what's going on, you are not going to have a good life. So enjoying that journey every step of the way, everything you're doing, that's awesome. That's great. Well, it's shocking to say that we are actually out of time, but
we just got started.
I know, but we're going to really leave them wanting more today. Right. And yeah, I'm so excited. I know that you're looking at all kinds of exciting things coming up. You have speaking engagements. You've got all kinds of things going on, but tell us, how do people get in touch with you?
So the easiest way is going to stacyraske.com. That's kind of that landing page where you can find the links to free resources, to my amazing community for high-performing women founders and CEOs, thought leaders, change makers, as well as previous podcast interviews, all that good stuff. It's kind of the central hub. So
that's awesome. That's great. And then also one more time, the name of your book and where they get it.
Yes, absolutely. Be a boss and fire that bitch. You can go to firethatbitchbook.com is kind of the book landing page. You can click the link there and it'll take you right to Amazon. Or of course, you can search the title on Amazon. It'll come right up, or search my name, Stacy Raske, with an E at the end, right on Amazon. And as well, the book will come up. It's currently available in Kindle and paperback. I am in the process of recording the audio for the Audible version soon.
That is so awesome. I have just finished my book and it's being edited and getting ready for publishing. So maybe
congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be a famous author like you someday.
You absolutely will be.
Well, it's so great to talk to you today, Stacy. I really appreciate you coming on, and we're going to definitely stay in touch. I love all that you're doing, and just keep up the great work and keep smiling.
Oh, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. I always love connecting with you.
All right. Well, thank you. And everybody, thank you so much for joining in. We love having you here. And until next time, see you later.